Hello, everybody, and welcome to the top questions that students asked us from the 2024-2025 school season. Because when we broadcast into classrooms, students can send us questions on their Chromebooks, laptops, tablets, their phones. We tabulated all the questions and we put them in a single document. And here are the top questions we got.
Let's get after it.
First question, and these are ranked in from the most to the least asked question.
Really?
Yep.
So the first one is the most asked question?
Yep. The most asked. Now,
This is interesting.
the questions are, we combine questions that are similar, so it's not as if the questions are literally what they said.
Gotcha.
There is going to be some variations.
Gotcha.
But the essence of the question was, how do you access the dark web? That was our most popular question we got from students this year.
Yeah, the dark web is this mysterious thing, right? Primarily because of what youth and even adults will read online and in media and that kind of stuff. But I mean, there's multiple ways to answer that question because, if you're ever doing purchasing online, right, we're using a credit card and going behind a paywall, technically you're on the dark web, right? Because the deep web.
Deep web.
Right? So, and that's what people forget is that we got the deep web and we got the dark web. So the dark web is a smaller component of the deep web. But in order to get into the dark web, you primarily need a specific browser like Tor. The Onion router is one of the more popular ones to get down there.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
some youth have asked me, well, what if I end up there on accident? Well, there is no accident. If you've ended up there, you've gone there purposely. So there's no accident about ending up on the dark web, right?
Interesting. That was the most popular question we
absolutely.
got.
Absolutely. That makes sense because there seems to be more interest in what is the dark and deep web. What are all the mysterious things that go on down there?
All right. The second most popular question, it's a bigger one, but it's kind of a combination of different substances. But if I watch a video that seems harmless, but it turns out that the creator is problematic in some way, and now they are being fed content that is now problematic, how do I get out of my algorithm?
Go for it, dude.
Some social networks, I think TikTok is probably the one that comes to mind. In your user settings, there is a setting feature to sort of remove your preferences and kind of reset your algorithm as if it's viewing you like a brand new user. Not every social network has those features. If you're using a network and it doesn't do that, my recommendation is you probably want to block that creator so you don't get any of their problematic content. But you also probably now want to start following and watching.
Cat videos.
Yeah.
Lots of cats videos.
You probably want to start watching and engaging with content that is more what you want to curate.
Correct. Yeah.
That's my recommendation. If you can't, reset your algorithm.
Just on a side note on that, it was interesting. Just recently I interviewed a grade 11 student here on a whole, what they were doing this school year and what were some of the trends and that kind of stuff. And, one of the things I mentioned to them was that, there's lots of adults now writing about the fact that teens don't have a strong attention because if you look at them on TikTok, they're just constantly scrolling. It's just showing you that they can't maintain attention for any length of time. And the teen actually laughed at that because they said, Darren, you know why we do that? I said, well, educate me. And they said, well, because we know that the way the TikTok algorithm works, that if we spend more than 2 or 3 seconds on a video, it captures it. So I'm going to get fed more of that video. And if this is something I don't want that to happen. So therefore, me and my friends, we have learned to hack the algorithm by just quickly scrolling. If something catches our attention that shows interest, that's when we'll stop and look at it. I went, that's kind of brilliant, right? So, when I hear a lot of these adults going, these teens today, they're unable to watch anything for any length of time. Just look at them scrolling on TikTok is a good example. Well, the reason they're scrolling like that on TikTok is to kind of hack the algorithm.
If I were to relate that for like parents, it could be like old days flipping through a magazine.
Yeah.
And at the store, you got to flip and see something you want, then you actually buy it.
That's a good point. Right? Yeah, that's a good point, right? A little analog there. That's a little bit of an analog analogy. Yeah.
Our next most popular question we got from students.
Yeah, we did.
Is selling feet pics bad?
Okay, now there's a difference between bad, legal, and illegal, right? So I'm going to let you talk about this because you kind of wrote an article on this, right?
So feet pics, it can get complicated. But Generally, just a picture of a foot in most cases is not illegal. Now, if the foot is doing something illegal, something sexual in nature, then, okay, now we got some potential challenges there. But feet pics itself, no, people can sell feet pics, much like people can model. People can sell hand pics. There's nothing inherently illegal about that. Now, that being said, could some creeps on the internet ask for feet pictures as sort of an entryway to now ask for more pictures of more body parts as sort of, testing the waters?
Yeah, because sometimes feet pics are exactly that. They're a gateway to other nudes, right? Kind of thing. So, I mean, should teens and youth be doing it? No. If they are doing it, is it illegal? Not necessarily, depending upon the context of what they're doing. Just pay your taxes. But the third one is, and a lot of teens don't know this, is that even if you're a teen, if you're making money online, i.e. by selling anything, including feet pics, you need to report that to Revenue Canada, because if you don't, they can come after you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of teens don't know that.
Yep.
So anyways.
What do you think of those predator capture videos where they confront people in public?
I'm going to take that one. Do I understand the why? Sure do. Do I think it's a good thing? No, I don't. Here's the reason why. These creep catchers, as a lot of them like to call themselves, they may be getting involved in a situation where they are totally unaware that law enforcement is working an undercover operation on that specific individual. So when all of a sudden you confront them, a lot of times, and make it public as the creep catchers, all of a sudden these people, they're going to go away, right? Now all of a sudden $500,000 spent by law enforcement doing an investigation on somebody is just blown out of the water. And the problem with creep catchers is, although it may work for your local location, what happens when this person just moves to another location, right? Another jurisdiction. So again, I'm not a big believer in creep catchers. Now, are there some organizations that work with law enforcement jointly to arrest these individuals? Yes. Okay. I kind of agree with those type of hybrid approaches, but more of a vigilante approach, not necessarily a big fan of.
Yeah. The biggest challenge for those folks doing that without police oversight is going to be, what if you get it wrong?
Yeah, which has happened.
Now you're in civil liability area, which is going to be a huge, see, with law enforcement and the criminal justice system, they have to prove the person behind the keyboard was the actual person behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done. So there's a lot of legal challenges with that. Are nudes illegal if they're consensual as a teen?
Go ahead.
It depends on your jurisdiction, country, state of residence. Different countries will have different laws on the matter. Here in Canada, well, two teens in a consenting legal relationship, images that are sent that are nude but are kept private only between the people in that relationship. Yeah, it's called the private use exception. Some states in the U.S. are very similar, but there are other states in the U.S. that if a teen takes their own nude photo, that they're now committing a felony.
Yeah.
So what might be legal in one state, you cross the border, may now be illegal. So,
but here in Canada, I think it's important you nail it. If it's two teens under the age of 18 in a private consensual relationship, not exploitive in nature and kept private, not illegal, right? So.
How do I stop pop-up ads?
Stop turning the little wheel. Jack in the Box pop-up.
Yeah.
Did you get that joke?
I got it.
This is you.
Number one is use a browser that's going to be more privacy or security focused. A lot of the most popular modern browsers have pop-up blockers. You can install pop-up blockers as well. That can be useful. One of the things some people make mistakes on is they might accidentally click a button to receive notifications for a website, and they don't realize they did that. And then they get notifications that come to their browser, and they don't know where it came from.
Okay, guilty.
Yes.
I've had to call Brandon up a couple times.
Yeah, that's a neat sort of newer trick that some spamming like websites will use is allow your browser to push notifications to you. So be careful what you click on. You can install pop-up blockers and use a good browser.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on brain rot?
Go for it, dude.
Well, I think every generation has had something in regards to brain rot, content that may not be as socially acceptable, or people just vegging out and doing nothing, either just, spending all day reading comic books, watching movies, or playing Dungeons and Dragons, whatever that might be, whatever that might look at. I think every generation's had something like that. It's a matter of balance. Exactly. Is it okay just to have brain rot moments, spend an evening after a hard week of work, just kind of doing nothing and just going to scroll? Is that going to be the worst thing for you? Probably not.
In fact, it can be de-stressing, right?
Yeah. If you're doing that every night,
that's a problem.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. I call brain rot, it's like bubble gum for the brain, right? Like there are times when we all need just to do nothing, like the bubble gum when we're online, scroll, just kind of doing a stress relief. And it's all about balance. But if you're doing that all the time, that becomes problematic.
Yeah, life's stressful. You got taxes, politics, all that stuff.
Again,
stressful.
I think that word was created by a parent in order to kind of spawn juvenoia amongst other parents that, oh my God, my son, my daughter, they're going to have brain rot because they're using social media all the time. Whatever.
Yeah, well, that's why I like relating that to movies and comic books.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like brain rot. Anything non-productive is brain rot.
Exactly.
It's like we can't all be productive 100% of the time.
Yeah.
We're not robots.
Yeah.
If you're on a platform that's not logged in, such as guest mode, are they still collecting your information?
Yes.
They're probably not collecting as much about you, but yeah, they're still collecting your things like IP address, time zone, maybe your battery level. What is it? I think
search history.
When you connect to a website or use an online app, just by simply connecting, I think there can be 52 possible data points that are being collected. So yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing when we use Spotlight, right, to have a look to see where once you connect, what spiders out from there, right? It's just amazing.
Can they see my group chats?
Who?
I think the question is probably related to data collectors' websites.
Oh, okay.
Or the owners of the social networks.
Yeah, okay.
Can they see my group chats? It depends on the app. A lot of apps are now utilizing end-to-end encryption. So the server can't see your messages. The network can't see your messages. Only the person you send that to. But there are a lot of social networks that don't have encrypted messaging, like Discord's a great example. Discord has very publicly came out and say, don't lump us in with all the bad things Facebook and all these other ones are doing because they encrypt stuff. We comply with all law enforcement suggestions and production orders. Like nothing's encrypted there. Mm-hmm. So it depends on the app you're using. Mm-hmm. Are you using Signal? Well, then no one's going to see your message except the person that you sent it to.
Including a reporter that you made a mistake sending a link to.
Right. You just got to make sure who's in your group chat.
I wonder who we may be talking about there.
How can future employers find your social media if you don't give it to them? Why not just use a fake name?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Well, some people do. I mean, that's where the term Finstagram came into play, right? Like you have a public Instagram account and then you have a fake Instagram account, which is Finstagram. The fake Finstagram account is for all your friends. The regular account is maybe for employers. But I think what's really important for people to know is that we teach teens, once they reach grade 10, is to change your mindset from a something to hide to something to show mindset. Because jobs are becoming more competitive all the time, you can actually use social media to leverage your position to give you an advantage over somebody else. So in fact, we encourage young people who are in grade 10 and above to make themselves more findable or searchable online, especially when it comes to jobs or for scholarships, be it sport or academic scholarships. In fact, I remember one of your resumes, the things that you designed on resumes is that if you have positive social media platforms, link those in your resume that you're handing out, because employers have said, hey, listen, if you bring to our attention that you have social media accounts, then we'll go and have a look. And that's exactly what we want them to do if you're using and leveraging your social media in a positive way.
Yep. If you make multiple social media accounts on the same device, are they linked in any way?
It depends if they're on the same platform, right?
Well, so they're linked in the way that, to frame it this way, one of the ways that, say, law enforcement might find out who someone really is a person might have multiple accounts. But on the same device, when you make a connection to a social network, you're probably using the same IP address. You're probably using other device identifiers. So like a rando person on the internet is probably not going to know that I have 5 different accounts or 5 TikTok accounts on my phone. But if you actually look at the data, go into the records, the IP address logs, well, then you can make the assumption going if all these 5 accounts are connecting from the same device on the same IP address. That's a pretty good assumption that that person has 5 accounts.
And especially if you're using the same username, password, cell phone numbers to register on all those accounts, right?
Yeah, with a lot of social networks, you have to verify you're a real person by submitting a phone number.
Correct.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So,
what if you send an inappropriate photo, but still have clothes on?
well, I think it depends upon, okay, what type of clothes are we talking about, right? What type of a picture are we talking about? You know, one of the things that you were able to find, Brandon, is here in Canada, and we can say here in Canada, that even if private bits are covered up, depending upon context, it could still be considered child sexual abuse material, right?
Yeah, I know of 8 court cases in Canada that all the important parts were covered, but pictures were still considered illegal given the sexual context.
So again, to answer that question, it comes down to context. But in most cases, probably not. Now, is the inappropriate photo showing crime and you're still wearing clothing? Then probably yes.
Yeah.
I mean, context is everything. You know, it's kind of interesting because a lot of teens, they want black and white answers. And one of the things that, especially when it comes to the law, there's nothing is ever black and white. It's all shades of gray.
Especially when you mix in human sexuality.
Correct.
It gets messy very quickly.
Yeah, it does.
I make TikTok videos. Am I safe? I have 1 million followers.
Oh, good for you.
Well, congratulations on that. We'll get there maybe one day.
Yeah.
But are you safe? It depends on what your videos are. It depends on how much information you're sharing. The more popular you become on a social platform, the more of an influencer you become, you're going to get more scrutiny. You're probably going to get more haters.
Trolls.
You're probably more trolls, people who might begin to start data mining you, doxing you. So you're as safe as you make it. Mm-hmm. Are you doing TikToks in your bedroom with your school class hoodie, graduation year, and the names on the back of it available for people to see in the background?
You're giving away our secrets.
Yeah. 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 You know, actually, a lot of how investigations work, it's not necessarily what is in the forefront of the video.
The person.
A lot of clues are what's in the background that people don't really consider when they're sharing stuff on the internet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how many times we've identified a location or a person just because of what's in the background, not the person themselves, but what's in the background.
Yeah, one of my favorite, I can't remember the name, one of my favorite investigative techniques, and it sucks, I can't remember the name, but it's using geography and sunlight to locate a location on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. That if you know the skyline and looking at the angle of the camera through just maths, you can pinpoint with the proper angles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
That's
some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Did you read the news today that when the U.S. bombed Iran, there was a huge sale in pizzas in and around the White House?
Yeah.
Pizza sales. Did you read that?
There is a pizza tracker.
So I went, so whenever there's a large number of pizzas being sold around the White House, it tells you something's going to happen.
Yeah, that's
right?
that. I think they identified that during the Iraq invasion.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the first people noticed going, hey, whenever there's a big thing occurring.
Because they're ordering food in, right?
There's and
I laughed.
Yeah, I think what they tried at one point is they bought, because it used to be, when I recall, they bought like a bunch from one location.
Yeah.
But now they've sort of because they know people are tracking that.
Yeah,
they're sort of distributing. They're buying small amounts from different places around like the Pentagon area.
Right. But it's still showing an increase in sales, right? Like there's a correlation there. So that was pretty funny, I thought.
Yeah. Should you accept cookies on websites?
Only if they're peanut butter.
And chocolate.
Okay, you like chocolate. I like peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter and chocolate
Oh, okay.
together.
All right. Yeah,
You should accept cookies if it's a website that you need cookies to function. Some
give an example.
websites,
Give an example.
grant applications.
Yeah.
Sometimes cookies, what they do is they hold memory about your session. So sometimes some websites, some plugins won't actually work unless you accept the cookies. If you're doing like writing something, you want to come back later, a cookie's going to be probably needed to remember that.
Yeah.
So it depends. Usually if you're just visiting a website looking for a recipe or something, I say no every time.
Like, not all cookies are bad cookies, right?
Yeah.
Including in the real world. Like, I don't like the cookies that have the marshmallows on top covered in chocolate.
I can't have gluten cookies.
I just don't like those, right? But it's just like the real world online, not all cookies are bad cookies.
Yeah. My Discord messages are really messed up. What should I do? Are you receiving messages or are you the person sending the messages? If you're the one sending it, well, I'd recommend you should probably stop. You probably want to delete those messages. If you are receiving those messages, probably the same thing. You probably want to delete the messages. You're going to want to block where they're coming from. If you're in an inappropriate Discord server, you probably want to disconnect. Oh, I like these. I like this question. I've seen this a few times in the live broadcasting. Are we actually anonymous when we ask you questions using our platform?
And that's the reason why is on our platform when we're doing school presentations, we say, hey, listen, just don't put your name to the question because that way you'll remain anonymous. So I'll let you finish answering the question.
Yeah, honestly, I love when this question pops up because it really shows the students are thinking and questioning, going, we tell them nothing's private. Yeah. So they send us an anonymous question. Yeah. Is it really private? Yeah. It's as private as you can possibly make it because, sure, are you connecting via an IP address? That has to be collected. You are connecting, so that's collected. Now, do we see the IP address from our service provider? No, we don't. Could they get that in a court order? I guess so. But that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, yes.
The answer to the question is, yeah, in most cases, you're anonymous, right? Like,
yeah. If we put the work in, could we really trace back to someone who they were and what they said?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, yeah. But
yeah.
It's not as if your peer sitting next to you send a question. They're not going to know it's you.
Correct.
Unless you put your name in the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Even then, all the questions are monitored and approved anyways. So even those questions that have a name attached, we just don't put them through. Mm-hmm. Extra layers of security. Mm-hmm. If you get super drunk at a party and your friend records you, what should you do?
I'll answer that one. Well, ask your friend to delete it. I mean, is there anything illegal about them recording it? No, because one-party consent in Canada may be different from state to state in the U.S., but here in Canada, we have one-party consent. But it's also dependent upon what's being done in the video. Like if you're super drunk and having sex and somebody's recording you covertly, that's illegal. That could be voyeurism. That could be the distribution of a non-consensual intimate image. There's all kinds of things that can go on there. So again, context is everything. But if all it is that you're drunk at a party and being really dumb, nothing more, and somebody's videotaping you and posting it, is there anything illegal about that? No. But you should be asking them to, take it down, delete it.
Yeah.
Don't post it.
It's a question of that if that friendship is worth it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Perhaps they're not really a friend.
That too.
Have you done any hacking yourself?
Yep. Social engineering.
Yeah. For me, I have the basics. I'm not any super awesome skilled hacker. That was mostly when I was in my teenage years.
It's interesting because hacking has so many different, like I'm a human hacker. My goal is to build confidence in individuals to get them to share things that they normally wouldn't show. It's called social engineering, right? Mm-hmm. It's a confidence play. So that's a form of human hacking.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say either of us are like super expert hackers, but we have the basics of understanding how it works, how it functions, so that we can understand what the hackers are doing and translate it in a way so we can help families and schools and students prevent from being hacked or scammed. Yeah. Does Snapchat send incriminating evidence to the police?
I'll take that one. If the police have a production order, yes, they will. They will provide them with any information that they have,
Yeah.
as outlined in the production order.
Yeah. Although Snapchat will actively try to delete things where they can before they even happens, but Snapchat doesn't always delete everything. I have very little to no online presence. Could that impact my chances of getting hired despite my skill? If so, how can I build a positive online presence that's also safe and more private?
That question we deal with directly in our program, Leveraging Social Media for College, University, Employment, and Sport Opportunities. Just because you have a social media, or just because you don't have a social media presence, is that such a bad thing? No. But does it put you at a disadvantage over somebody who does and is leveraging it in a positive way? Yes, because if I'm an employer and I've got one position left and I got two candidates and I got one candidate who's showing me all kinds of cool things that they're doing both offline and online in their social media that is directly relevant to the position they're applying for, and then another person who's not, guess who I'm picking? Right? I'm probably picking the person who's showing lots of interest and stuff. So there's ways to go about leveraging your social media in a positive way to give you an advantage, to make you stand out from everybody else who may be applying for that position. And we've had a number of students who have earned scholarships and job offers as a result of that, right?
Yeah.
So
now, as a way to do it more safely and more privately, it's hard to become an online professional and showcase how awesome you are by being private. Now, that doesn't mean you publicly put on your internet your address. Doesn't mean you showcase to the world what your phone number is. So those very important personal bits of information you don't share publicly, but you show off your projects and your skills effectively. Is playing League of Legends for 23 hours a day healthy?
I think playing anything for 23 hours a day is not healthy, right? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. Now, okay. As a gamer, if there's one day in the year and you just play 23 hours of gaming nonstop, just for one day, to have a strong gaming like binge session, it's probably not the worst thing.
No, but if you're doing it all the time.
Yeah, okay, all the time, yes. But like one day during the summer, there's no school, you're not actively working, you just need a break just to kind of get away from the world for 23 hours.
Yeah.
Order in some good food. Yeah, I think that's, one day, you're probably fine. But not every day. If I stream movies off a pirate website, can I go to jail?
Probably not going to go to jail.
No, it's not really a criminal offense. It's more like a civil copyright offense.
Yeah, it's illegal under copyright law to do that here in Canada, right? So you're not going to go to jail, but you could end up with a significant financial fine.
Yeah, it's not like something the police actively investigate. It'd be the license holder, the copyright holder, wanting to make a legal claim against you. That's kind of how that works. It's not like police are actively looking for pirated stuff. They have more important things to deal with. What is your opinion on Omegle?
I'll take that one. Omegle had been around for like 14 years and then it went under, but then all kinds of Omegle wannabes have popped up.
The copycats?
Yeah, like they're just all over the place. My feeling is, are there some interesting things that happen on Omegle where, you're just meeting, sometimes, a lot of movie stars every so often will go on there, right? Just to meet fans by surprise.
Or some people have really cool talent, will just showcase their talent.
Exactly. But, you can go on these sites for less than a minute and you're immediately seeing inappropriate pictures of mostly guys doing things with their private parts that maybe you don't want to see, right? So it's, Omegle is like, and those sites similar to that are just chock-a-block full of those things. And they also tend to be a real place where a lot of people who want to target teens for exploitation will go to meet them. Like we've helped more than a few teens who have met people on Omegle and other similar sites to Omegle who have ended up in very bad situations as a result of that. So
yeah, I really question like the motivations as to why someone would go there.
well, the
like,
byline was "Come talk to a stranger." Right?
yeah, but you can do that on like you could go on a Facebook group of a hobby you enjoy and talk to people who share your hobby interests.
Yeah.
Like there's other
Kids in Facebook, that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Depends upon where you are
Yes.
in Canada.
Okay, you can join a Discord server,
yeah.
or you can join a group chat or something. Like, there's other places you can, if you truly want to just have fun and talk to a stranger, there's other places that can offer you that. So, why is it that it's Omegle or it's copycats? I think because they're probably looking for something a little more shocking. Yeah.
This is an interesting question. We're getting way more of these types of questions, right? They're happening with more frequency.
Is it okay to ask AI to help with your homework?
Well, I think there's a difference between helping with your homework and doing your homework, number one, right? Like you don't want AI to do all your homework for you. However, if you're a teen who's written an essay and you're looking at ways to clean up the essay and to make it sound maybe a little different based upon context.
Grammar check, spelling check.
So AI can be a great assistance for you. But if you're asking AI to write you a book report that a teacher gave you where you've had no input, you're just getting AI to do it for you as a part of the homework, well then no, that's not good.
Yeah, I see that to be the same as prior to AI, just going online and downloading a book report someone else did a year prior. Yeah. That's the same equivalence to me.
Yeah.
How did you learn to do this job? Many years of trial and error?
Yeah, many years of trial and error for sure. My job, which was in law enforcement, I learned some skills there to be an online investigator. And then a lot of what it is I've learned with regards to digital literacy and stuff I've learned from you. Right? So
yeah,
you've been my teacher. I'm your Padawan. You're my Jedi Master. I'm your Padawan.
I guess for me, early teenage years, interested in hacking and scammers, how the code works, breaking the code, breaking computers apart. That was my real interest. And then going into college, university, learning about human sociology, psychology, and kind of mixing those two together. And then a lot of what we're doing, or at least a lot of what I'm doing right now, is learning how to do broadcasting. The studio we built from the ground up. So a lot of my time has been trialing and erroring with just production equipment. And
hey, does that VO camera work where we can get a full pan right now to show them what you've designed?
It's not plugged in for this recording setup.
Too bad.
But yeah, we have like 9 video inputs right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's grown over the
Looks
last...
like we're on CNN or CBC News in here, right? It's amazing. So
over the last 10 years of slowly building out the studio to share our knowledge and experience. Should I lie about personal information online? For example, my age on some online games and platforms.
That happens quite often, right? Like a lot of social media platforms, you need to be at least 13. Some are 16, some are 18. Some of the adult sites, you need to be 18 to be on, right? And so young people under those ages will fake their ages all the time. Is that a bad thing? Context is everything in most cases, probably. If the social media platform figures out that you've lied about your age, then they'll nuke you off that site, right? So
yeah, that's for me. It's not about sharing your age publicly to the world, like putting in your byline. Hi, my name is Johnny Boy, and I'm 13 years old. Okay, no, not that. But when you're actually logging in or building your account, when it asks for your name, email, and date of birth, putting your actual date of birth in there, it's probably going to be fine as long as it's not, actively broadcasting that to the entire internet. Because a couple issues that can come up is one, if you're checked lying, if you're found out, you can be banned and kicked off. Sometimes if you forget your password and you're trying to recover your account, it may ask you for your age and date of birth. And if you just picked a random number, you may not get your account back. So you might now be a 35-year-old professional adult, and your old gaming account you lied with your age on years back, and you're going, oh, what age did I lie about again? You might have just lost your account forever. So yeah, for me, that's where you want to put it accurate, as long as it doesn't broadcast to the world.
Right.
Have you ever caught any predators online?
Yep. We certainly have. And they have been arrested, charged, and even convicted by law enforcement. So,
Yep.
we certainly have.
Sometimes what we've done for schools and families where we have done the investigative work is maybe police are busy, or maybe they think there's nothing they can do about it. And then we collect the evidence, provided it to the family,
With
and
a
went,
big bow tie.
yeah, here you go. Here's all the evidence. All you have to do is present this to a sworn officer of the law, and they can actually issue the arrest warrant, production order, do all their legal things that they have the power to do. But as a private entity, there are some things we can do that police can't do. And sometimes that data and collection can be really useful.
That we can do without warrant. Let's clarify that. Right?
Yes. There's certain privacy laws that impact public organizations versus private organizations.
Correct.
So
Public being the police, private being our company, the Wayhatter.
yeah, public entities have a lot more privacy restrictions.
Correct.
Private entities, private citizens, much less so. If your internet provider can see what you search in private mode, does that mean the person who pays for it can too?
Like parents. I think that's what they're
Yeah,
at, right?
I've also seen this question worded, can my parents see my internet activity?
I kind of laugh because when you see some of these questions, they're a little cryptic, but you know exactly why they're asking the question.
It depends on the
Depends on
internet
the provider,
provider. Most that I've seen that most people use around North America, no, they don't. You as the client who pays for the internet, you don't easily have access to the logs. Do they exist? Yes. Can they be accessed by the company or law enforcement? Yes. By the courts? Yes. If all the things are checked and warrants are issued. But usually it is restricted to some degree. But they do exist.
Yeah, some companies will actually provide the person who pays
Yep.
for a log of what was going on the network too.
But also the routers that are used.
Yeah, that's
Different
the other
routers will also have different logs. So even if the internet company might not provide the log, if you're connecting to a router and the owner of that router has log access, they could see that.
Now, even if they're using private mode, Brandon, the router will still capture the IP, right?
Yeah, it will capture the IP of your device. Yeah. Well, it will assign you an IP, and it will connect you to the IP of the website that you're connecting to, right? So there are logs like that. Yeah. That's why there are some parenting filtering tools out there that are like DNS filtering tools or private. Yeah, there are tools to kind of control the internet and monitor it at the connection router level.
Right.
Is using public Wi-Fi safe?
If you're using a VPN, yes. If you're not using a VPN, well, then it's wide open. Anybody could potentially sidejack it to see what it is you're saying or doing, right? So I use public Wi-Fi all the time, but like Starbucks, a good example, but I always turn my VPN on when I do that.
Yeah.
Or use data, but they're talking Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, generally even on a public Wi-Fi, your connection from your device to the router, it is encrypted. It's not a super great. Yes, there are ways to kind of hijack, at least in the past. The risk is low, but it also depends on what you're doing. Do you need a VPN if you're just doing a Google search on Starbucks Wi-Fi on a recipe? Probably not. Are you doing online banking? Then
Probably
you
yes.
probably want your VPN on, or just use your cellular data for that. It's a risk assessment of what you're actually doing.
Yep.
Can hackers hack our phones? Anything is possible. It's doable. It's challenging depending on what the objectives are. But, it is possible. But it's a matter of how easy you make it.
I do see some cases that we've helped adults where their ex-partners have put software onto their phones without their partner knowing, so that they can track them and see what it is that they're doing. So, but again, they have to get access to the device to do that.
Do you have games on your phone?
I do. Remember Angry Birds?
Yeah.
I got that.
Okay.
I got Angry Birds. I also got Star Trek on my phone, where I can play like this Star Trek game.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
Games on my phone? Right now I have Magic the Gathering Arena.
Oh.
That's what I have on my phone mostly.
Oh.
Do you have anything else on my phone? I think I have a folder for games, but most of my gaming is on my...
I don't usually use my phone for games, to be quite honest. Except when I'm traveling, like if I'm on a plane or something like that, and I don't have my laptop, that's when I'll pull out and play Angry Birds or something like that. But most of the time, if I'm playing games, I'm using my laptop or a gaming console.
Yeah. Should you read the terms and conditions for games?
Yes. But will you?
In a perfect world, I guess we should.
Have you ever tried reading those things?
Yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're like 80 pages of microprint in which you need a magnifying glass to read them in a law degree.
And the thing is, once you've read one, they all are kind of basically the same.
I know. But
so in a perfect world, yes, you should. Even as a gamer, do I do that for every new game I download? No. Let's be honest here. Basically, what they all say is this. You don't own the game. All data they collect, they can sell. And
you have no privacy.
You have no privacy, right? They own everything. You own nothing, and you'll be happy about it.
Exactly. That's why it's free.
That's pretty much what it says. Oh, and if you have a legal dispute, you have to go through arbitration.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's usually what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't use their IP. And yeah, read one, you've read them all. Is Opera GX a safe browser to use? If so, please explain why. If not, please explain why not.
This is your wheelhouse.
I don't, honestly, I think there's a debate online right now about that. I haven't seen anything inherently wrong about it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Some people don't like it because, I don't know, apparently there's like a Chinese connection and whatnot, and data's collected or something. It's a spyware app. But then...
So is Facebook.
Yeah. I mean...
Or Meta, right?
Yeah.
So is Google, right?
Yeah. And all those companies sell data too. So I personally haven't seen anything that makes Opera GX inherently a bad, unsafe platform. Can I prove it's safe? Well, it's the same thing I can prove that Google is safe, like Chrome. Like there's nothing inherently bad about it.
Yeah.
How much is your setup?
Too much.
Studio here, over 10 years of investment. Yeah, that's.
We're pushing 6 digits, right? We're pushing 6 digits, so there's no doubt about it. If you're going to do it right, I mean, that's one of the things that I always said to Brandon is, if we're going to go down this path, let's do it right. Let's spend the money to get the best stuff so that we know we're doing it right. Because we've seen too many people try to do this and not spend the money, and the quality is just horrible, right? So
yeah, that's our biggest challenge is when we're doing a broadcast to a school or family group that they think it's going to be a Zoom meeting using the camera on a laptop. No. It's a proper actual broadcast.
Right.
Not a webcam Zoom meeting. Does reading keep you awake like your phone does at night?
The books I read make me fall asleep. No, I'm just joking. I mean,
it depends. Yeah. I would say it's very less stimulating.
See, here's the other thing about books. Books don't ding, chime, ring, or vibrate at night. That interferes with your sleep, whereas phones do, right? And so that's one of the reasons why we strongly recommend to parents don't allow phones or gaming consoles or computers in bedrooms, because the good academic peer-reviewed research shows us that it interferes with sleep. And sleep is so important when it comes to a developing brain. So
yeah. And any material can be used to keep stimulated and not go to sleep. I think my partner's always shared the story of of Garfield books under the sheets with a flashlight.
Yeah. I always read between the lines on this one. I can guarantee you the teen who asked that is because their parent probably says, no, you can't have a phone because it keeps you awake, so here's a book. So if we would have come forward and said, no, books are just like phones, they would have said, see? Right, kind of thing. So you can read between the lines on some of these, right?
Yeah.
So...
Or before the internet times, comic books.
Yeah.
Staying awake and reading comic books
Exactly.
of Batman going slam, bam,
Yeah.
super energetic.
Yeah.
right? So
or a TV in the bedroom, or your
TV.
radio in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Right. I remember when I had a radio playing in my bedroom all night. So
now, if you're reading an academic book, that will make you fall asleep.
yeah.
I experienced sexual harassment at school and deleted the info before I could talk to anybody. What should I do about that?
We both say in all our programs, wherever possible, screen capture, right? Because having the evidence makes things so much easier, because if not, it comes down to a he said, she said, she said, she said, or he said situation, right? So having the evidence is so important, and that's why learning how to screen capture properly and having that with you is so important, so that when you do come forward, you have the evidence to support your position. So
even if you don't have the evidence to prove, still making a report and seeking help can be a part of the solution, that if that individual is targeting other people and there are other similar stories, that can sort of build a case to then actually pursue further.
Correct. And pursuing further would be, although you've deleted it, it's likely still on the server of that social media platform. So therefore, police can now proceed to get a production order to get what was there in their hands, because whatever was typed, what was ever said, is often still there. It's just not visible unless you have a production order to grab it.
Do hackers want my information?
Yes.
Yeah, they will take whatever they can get.
Identity theft, right? Huge.
Identity theft or information to hack you, to scam you, to guess your passwords, to pretend to be you. Anything is of value for them. A lot of people ask me, sometimes in these broadcasts, the students ask, well, what if I don't have any money? Why would someone want to hack me? Because you have information.
You have good credit rating because you have never had a credit card, right?
Yeah.
So you got a great credit rating.
Or the fact you have an account you've curated, it's clearly not a bot account. If they can take that and use it to now hack other people and then put the blame onto you, right? They will take whatever they can get.
Yeah.
Is it illegal to lie about your age on the internet?
I'll answer that. Is it illegal criminally? No, right? Is it a violation of the terms of service? Yes.
I guess it would depend if you're logging into a government website.
Okay, that's different.
Okay.
Like if you're hacking a protected government site, like
and lying about
the
your
FBI
age
or the RCMP or something like that, that's a little different. But a good example, porn site, right? You have to be 18. They all have that button. I agree, I'm 18, so you click it. That's the only age gating. When in fact you're 16. Is that illegal? No, it's not illegal. Now, some of the things you're viewing on the other side may be illegal, like pornography.
There are some places around the world that are trying to make that illegal in that particular circumstance.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
They're trying.
They're trying. But is it a violation of terms of service? Yes, it is. And if that's brought to the attention of the social media provider, then they can nuke you right off the site. Yeah. You're right. There are some places around the world where they're attempting to make it so that if a 16-year-old attempts to access a pornography site, just a regular pornography site, you're breaking the law. Like, really? Yeah. What are we doing here?
Usually where there's age and laws, if a social network willingly lets you in, you're under the age of 18, yes, there are age laws, but it's a social network that is in violation, not the user.
So let's concentrate on them and not the user, right?
Yeah. So, what is your personal opinion of AI, artificial intelligence?
It's just a tool. It's like any other tool. You can either use it in a positive or negative way. Like we hear a lot of negative stuff about AI, but there's a lot of really good stuff. I mean, look at how the medical community is now using AI to identify cancers that the human eye can't pick up. Or, what about the group of teens that figured out a treatment for a brain tumor? Teens, not doctors, teens. Or what about teen here in Canada developed a hearing aid using AI technology? I mean, it's
reducing the cost of medical.
Correct, right? So, but on the flip side of the coin, any tool can be used for positive or it can be used for negative. For like fraudulent crimes is a good example. So I think AI is one of those transformational things. The internet was transformational when it first came out and it was made public. AI is now doing the same thing. And so as a result of that, we need to be aware of that and we need to be on top of it. And we need to be forward thinking now about where AI is taking us. I'm telling teens now who ask me, hey, Darren, what do I want to do for a job? Well, who was it? Amazon, the owner of Amazon, came forward a couple of weeks ago to say that a third of their workforce, he figures in 5 years, will no longer be needed because of AI. One of the largest AI developers in the world, their CEO said that, hey, listen, about a third of all blue collar work is going to be out. So, a lot of youth who are presently in college or university getting degrees for jobs that they were looking forward to, those jobs may not be around anymore. So teens need to be thinking, and as well as adults, we need to be thinking a little bit differently about, okay, with AI, how can we AI proof ourselves when it comes to jobs and employment? So that's a downside, but there's also an upside to that too, right? So it's just a tool. It's like any other tool. You can use it in a positive or negative way. So I'm fairly neutral on AI, but AI can definitely be used as a weapon. There's no doubt about that.
How good is Telegram, a supposedly encrypted end-to-end messaging platform?
Go for it.
Telegram has been questioned over the last few years about its effectiveness for security and privacy. Is there any proof to those claims? No, but there definitely is interesting choices the company has made, that the leadership has made. So if I'm looking for an app to do that kind of encryption work, I'd probably use Signal. They've had a pretty good track record. It only depends who you add to your group chat. It's only as safe as you make it and who you add in your group chat. But Telegram, I would probably prefer Signal. It's just my gut feeling. I have nothing inherently wrong to prove about Telegram, but I think Signal is kind of like the industry standard or government standard. Mm-hmm. Officially or unofficially?
I think more unofficially.
What's the safest social media?
I don't think there is such thing as safest. There is safer, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know about the safest, right? So there are social media platforms out there, like Kinzu is a really good example for those under the age of 16. That was designed with privacy and security at its base.
Yeah, I recommend, as long as the social network you're using allows you to block someone, it's going to be a better social network. If people can message you, you can't block them, you're probably going to have more problems on that network. Making sure the social network you're using, you can set your account to private. If you can't do that, you're probably going to have more problems on that network. So making sure it has the basic security features that you can enable.
But even with those safety features, it doesn't make them the safest. It just makes them safer.
Yeah.
Right? So,
is it safe to answer scam texts or calls?
We don't recommend you do that unless you're having fun with it, like I do. There's a number of times where these scammers will phone me and I'll pretend to be somebody else, usually an 80-year-old person that is hard of hearing, and I'll have them repeat it again and again and again. But it's not something we necessarily would recommend.
No, the biggest risk is that you really anger the scammer or hacker on the other end, and they want to take vengeance against you.
Exactly.
And it now goes beyond just trying to scam call you. That is your biggest risk.
We had one the other day where somebody was phoning, and basically what they wanted us to do is they wanted us to download a remote access for them to control our computer. And I kept saying, I'm on this site. And I sounded like I was like 80 years old. I'm sorry, I didn't quite. He got so mad, he just hung up, right? Yep. We never heard from him again. So
how do you know if an app is using your device to crypto mine? Ooh, good question.
I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question.
There was a case a few years ago, I can recall, that it was a browser plugin that someone downloaded a plugin and the browser began to mine cryptocurrency.
But you had to download it.
Yes. You have to actively, generally, in order for someone to do that, you have to allow them in by accepting something and downloading something. Are you going to know about it? If you're using antivirus software, it should warn you.
And was that app available in like a traditional like Google store or the Apple
It's a browser
store?
plugin.
Okay.
So browser plugins are kind of like the newest vector that hacking and scamming occurs now because they're a lot less regulated and protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
be
I've seen
careful,
that. Generally, you'll probably notice your battery level on your laptop or device is draining faster. It's probably hotter. The fans are spinning because it's processing all that crypto. So unless you are actively monitoring for that stuff, you might not notice. So take a look for those key signs. If you don't have the income to pay for a good VPN, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, we always say go with a premium so you're paying for it. However, depending upon one's socioeconomic background, you may not. So there's some good free VPNs out there. Just understand if they're free, they're likely going to slow down your internet connection. And if they're free, they're likely collecting your information and selling it to third parties. That's how they make their money. So just be aware of that.
My recommendation, if you're looking at that, look for a proper premium VPN provider, but they have a free tier, like a sample tier, like a trial tier.
That's a good idea.
Where they have, they allow you a couple megabytes, whatever, per month on the free plan. It's probably slower, and once you reach your cap, it kind of cuts you off. But using their network that's backed by proper premium paid for subscribers, it's probably going to be your best sort of safer bet. Why are these platforms so evil? Why don't they just have our best interest in mind?
It's all about the money.
Capitalism.
Right? It's all about the money, right? They're free because they want you on there so that they're collecting information and selling it to people. So that's what it's all about. If you remove capitalism and making money, be a little different. But
does the government always have your best interest in mind?
No.
So it doesn't matter if you have socialism, communism, capitalism, any big entity is probably... any ism is probably not going to have your best interest in mind. I'm sorry, but it's just kind of once an organizational structure gets to a certain level, it's about the organization versus everyone else.
Yeah, it's all about the money, and usually to the shareholders, right? That's what it's all about. Safety and security are often a distant thought. Now, we're seeing some changes. I mean, a really good example, I've been playing around with something called Angel Q, which is a new AI for young teens under the age of 16. Pretty cool. Don't sell third parties. It's just very, very cool. So,
which is better, Fortnite or Call of Duty?
Angry Birds.
As someone who...
World of War Tanks. That's what I play.
You like
I
war
play
tanks.
World of War Tanks, man.
As someone who has actively played both genres, that's a good question.
Call of Duty.
I don't know. Right now, I think Call of Duty is kind of saturated. They're not really innovating anymore. There's a lot of cash grabs now with it. I think.
This one's really tugging at you.
Yeah, no, I think
Fortnite or Call of Duty. Make a decision.
Fortnite.
There you go.
Because
Fortnite.
things change monthly. There's always something new to do. There's new versions. There's new game modes. There's a lot more to do. Call of Duty is kind of, I guess, generic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although I have played a lot of COD.
Yeah. I've eaten a lot of COD. I prefer halibut, but in a pinch, I'll eat cod.
What should I do if I need help in a situation where I am being exploited?
Reach out to a trusted adult, a parent, police. You can reach out to us. We've helped just a ton of teens and adults who've connected with us over those issues. So there's a variety of different people that you can connect with. You're not alone is the message, right?
Is YouTube safer than TikTok?
I don't know about safer. I mean, it's just different in the algorithms, right? Like TikTok uses a special sauce of an algorithm that nobody else can use. I mean, YouTube has its YouTube Shorts, which is kind of competition for TikTok, right?
Yeah, YouTube Shorts is pretty competitive with TikTok.
Kind of thing, right? So it's both of them are tools, and it's like any other tool. You can use it for good or for bad.
I guess YouTube doesn't have like the internal messaging DM features like TikTok has.
Right.
Then again, I don't know a whole lot of people actually use TikTok as like a messaging platform that way. You can do that.
Yeah, unless you're a pedo connected with a young kid.
True, right? So I guess in that sense, YouTube is safer because you can't have DMs per se. Yeah. But then with YouTube, you have a Google account, which means you have a Gmail account. So then you get messages via Gmail. So
Which the Uber Lord Google is watching everything you're doing.
true. What do I do if someone catfishes me on a dating app?
Block and delete them. First thing I would do, right?
Yeah.
Block and delete them. And then report it to the platform, right? So I think a lot of people don't do that enough, that if you're coming across a creep who's trying to catfish you online, especially on a dating app, bring it to the attention of the dating app. Most dating apps are pretty good about nuking creeps that are trying to catfish others, right? So now, is that going to stop them from creating a new account? Probably not, but at least you're doing something about it. If you have been catfished, especially if you've been catfished as a romance scam where maybe they've gotten money or something else from you, then reporting it to law enforcement would be important. School year. So,
all righty. On that note, we'll see you back when school
2025, 2026 school year
up.
Yeah, we've already got, I think we got 18 programs booked already for the fall, so which is kind of cool. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Exciting.
And
we'll get back into the unanswered questions when school starts back up.
In the
Thank
fall.
you all so much, and we'll see you all then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye for now.